Good morning. It's Monday morning, and we've come to that part of Matthew 21 that everyone skips over, verses 18 through 22. In the morning, as Jesus was returning to the city, he became hungry. And seeing a fig tree by the wayside, he went to it and found nothing on it but leaves. And he said to it, "May no fruit ever come from you again." And the fig tree withered at once. When the disciples saw it, they marveled, saying, "How did the fig tree wither at once?" And Jesus answered them, "Truly I say to you, if you have faith and do not doubt, you will not only do what's been done to the fig tree, but even if you say to this mountain, 'Be taken up and thrown into the sea,' it will happen. And whatever you ask in prayer, you will receive if you have faith." Well, we often skip over passages like that, and probably with good reason. What's going on here? Well, Jesus sees a fig tree and goes to get some figs, and there are no figs, and he curses the thing, and it withers. Only it's not the season for figs, you see. It's springtime, and there shouldn't be any figs yet. So what's his problem? Is he petulant? Is he being hangry? He's hungry and angry, and what's wrong with Jesus? There's a little bit of evidence in the Gospels that sometimes the writers sort of soften the verbs, and it says something like he became angry. They've changed it to he was moved with great emotion, stuff like that. But that's not really the case here, I don't think. I think what's going on here is think of the context. We just had the cleansing of the temple. And so what Jesus does here is withers this fig tree as a sort of a symbolic way of saying to Israel, you don't produce fruit, you're going to wither. And the disciples, of course, are like, "Oh, that was cool. How did you do that? Why did it wither?" And Jesus says, "Well, if you know how to pray and had enough faith, you could do it." Well, that gets back to the old stumbling block that we've talked about before. If you have enough faith, you could heal people. Well, that's not really how it works. So just forget about that, and forget about the notion that we don't have the right kind of faith or enough faith or good faith or perfect faith or something if we're not making everything happen just the way we want. And we're not told here that God will do whatever we want if we just say it. God kill our enemies and bang, they fall over dead. No. What we're told here is that I think if we're praying according to the will of God this is the Christian gospel after all. If we're praying the way that God calls us to, teaches us to pray, then we'll find that things happen, and we can see our prayers answered positively. In the Gospel of Mark, these two sections of this are split. He withers the fig tree in the morning, then he goes in and cleanses the temple, and then he comes back and the fig tree is withered, and they ask about it. And so there you have, it's more clear. The fig tree is a symbol for Israel and Israel's lack of fruit. So I think what this passage might say to us in our time is, first of all, bear fruit. And secondly, a way to bear fruit is to situate yourself in the will of God and pray according to that will. And you'll find that you will bear fruit, and it will be all good. That at least is what we're going to say for it today. And we'll pick up the next little bit tomorrow. See you then. Have a great day.